Hello everybody, welcome back to Burnt Church. I hope everybody's having a good day. We're going to go out to the sawmill. We got some white oak logs that we're going to saw some cross ties out of. We'll put one or two of them on there and see how fast that we can make a cross tie out of this white oak. They're around a 12-inch log probably, maybe 13. A lot of sawmills around here, you can't sell them everything. They'll only buy like a 10-inch log and up. Everything smaller than that you have to leave in the woods. You might can carry it to the paper mill and sell it for pulpwood, but people has to leave a lot in the woods. And when we cut our own timber, we bring everything in. We bring the small logs, the big ones, we saw it all. And I hear people talking all the time how many cross ties they can saw. And I don't saw near that many. A good day for us is around probably 50 to 70 cross ties. And that's a real good day. But we're sawing everything. We're sawing the big logs. We're sawing the tiny logs. And I think at these sawmills where they just buy certain size logs, they can turn out more ties than we can. I think that's where the difference comes in. I think that's why we don't saw as many. So I want to time it and see how fast I can saw just a normal size log into a cross tie. This size log that we're going to be sawing, this is about the size log that they would be sawing at other mills around here. So it's just a little comparison, just to see how fast we can really saw one. And white oak, it's a real hard wood. And blade sharpness is going to make a lot of difference in it. But we're going to have a pretty sharp blade on when we start this test. And we just see, we'll probably do about 2 logs and just see how fast we can do them. And don't forget, anybody that's new here, leave us a comment of what country or what state you're in. We'll put a pin on this map for you. I thought I heard wild wilder. Yeah, there's wild wilder. Bobo and wild wilder. Bobo, what do you think about wild wilder? He don't like wild wilder getting too close to me. Look here, he gets right between me and the guinea. I should have filmed it last night. About 9:30, we was watching a movie, and Bobo was barking like just going wild. I came outside and shined the light over here in the road where Bobo was at, and he was just giving it a fit. There's a big old possum sitting on his butt there, growling at him. And I went in to get the bang stick to take care of him, and I got to feeling sorry for him. I said, well, I'm not going to do that, because I keep the chickens put up, and so far nothing has really tried to get in and bother them. So I said, I'll just let nature take its course. Well, a few minutes later went by, and I could hear Bobo growling, and I could hear the fight had taken off. I shined the light out, and him and the possum, he was shaking him and stuff. I said, well, I guess that was nature's course, you know. That's the way the possum was supposed to go. I don't think he done him in, because I came out this morning and I can't find the possum anywhere. So I think he just shook him a little bit and let him go. He may have told him not to come back around. Right here's the logs we've got to pick from. I'll show you. We'll pick out 2 decent sized logs out of here. See how we have a mixture there? Some real big ones, some real small ones. We'll pick out 2 around 12 inches. Most sawmills around here, this right here is about the size log that they want. That's about probably anywhere from a 12 to 14 inch log. I'm going to start the timer right now. I'm having to reset the saw a little bit, and I'm moving the log some. I could have waited and started it right when I started into the log, but I thought to be fair, I would start it as soon as I put the blade in gear. This timer, it don't include loading it onto the sawmill and stuff. It's just whenever I got it set there and got started sawing it. That blade's cutting pretty good. That's a new blade that we put on. It hadn't been sharpened before. I'm having some trouble with my debarker. It's been overheating or something. It gets where it won't work. I had to replace a little old, something like a fuse in it here about a year ago. And I think that's what I'm gonna have to do again. It's a working all right here now, but it had been messing up earlier today. So far we're doing pretty good. We've got 2 sides slabbed off and we're at about 2 minutes. I should have dropped down another cut right here. That's a real thin slab. I've noticed that at other sawmills. They have a lot thicker slabs than what we have, which I don't want to waste the lumber. That white oak lumber brings a pretty good price most of the time. But in a case like that, the board that we got off of it wasn't very good. It's going to have a lot of bark on it. So I would have been better off to drop down. We'll finish this log up, see how long it takes, and I'll move the camera back to the back and we'll saw one more. The person that taught me how to saw, he taught me to try to get every board I could get out of a log. And that is the best thing to do. Only sometimes it causes me to saw real thin slabs. If anybody had a laser on their mill, that would probably do away with the thin slabs. I use our debarker most of the time, like I'm doing there now. When I pulled up to the log, I run the debarker over to it to see where my blade's going to hit. Because from where I'm sitting at, I can see the debarker a lot better than I can see where the blade is. We're almost through with this one. This is the last cut and we'll be done with it. Well, that took just a little bit over 4 minutes. Let's wait till it clears the saw. 4 minutes and 32 seconds. That's faster than what I figured I'd do it. We'll try this next one. I'm going to start the timer as soon as I start loading it here. And we'll see how long it takes on it. Those knots can slow you down quite a bit on logs. I have had folks bring in logs and the knot be sticking out 4 or 5 inches. You can't hardly saw them like that. They'll get hung up on the mill. And if you don't watch, you'll have it turned wrong and your saw head won't clear. You have to take a chainsaw and cut it off. It's always best to have the knots cut as close to the log as you can. This is just about the same size log as we just sawed. Y'all don't forget, take a second and hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you don't like it. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and they have had us buried here lately. That's a Turbo 7 blade. I don't remember if I told y'all what kind of blade it was or not. That there, that's a pretty thin slab. I should have dropped down another cut. What I'm really looking for on my first cut is I would like to have about a 6-inch face left on the board. That way when we edge it, it makes at least a 6-inch board. I was also taught to always try to get the wide way first. Like if you're sawing a cross tie, that's 7 by 9. I always try to get the 9-inch dimension first, and then we try to get the 7-inch dimension. The reason behind that was just in case you couldn't get 9 one way, you could always try to do it the other direction. We're moving through this log faster than the other one. It's just a little bit smaller log too. So I think we're going to beat our time on our other one. I look for us to come in under 4 minutes on this one. We won't stop the timer until we drag the cross tie back. Whenever it clears almost off the saw, that's when we'll stop the timer. This slab here, it's a pretty thick slab, but I couldn't have made no board out of it. If I'd have tried to, it would have been a little narrow board, probably 4 inches or less. We'll get this bark off of it, and we'll be just about done with this one. They don't like for you to leave any bark on a cross tie, so we try to get all the bark off of it. If you do have a little bit, you take a tie barker and knock it off. They don't want you to send them with any kind of bark on them. Well, we're just about done with that one. I believe we're going to beat our time on this one. Looks like we're going to come in under 4 minutes. Well, we done pretty good, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I bet that's the fastest I've ever sawed one. Well, that turned out a lot faster than what I thought it would. I figured we'd be way over 5 minutes on the very fastest one. I can't believe we came in at 3 minutes and what was it, 40 seconds? Something like that. That shocked me, and that was loading it and everything. It's just, I don't know, we kill a lot of time during the day by moving logs around and moving lumber and stuff out. So doing the math on that, it would be possible to saw 96 ties in an 8-hour day. That would be allowing 5 minutes per tie. And you wouldn't have no time to kill though. And that's what happens a lot with us out here. Most time it's just 2 of us. And we have to shut the mill down and load the skids, edging the lumber that we saw, moving stacks of lumber out, banding it. It just all takes a little time, and like I told you before, a real good day for us is usually 50 to 75 ties, and that's a real good day. But this was fun doing this. It kind of let me see how fast actually I could saw a cross tie. And those sizes we were sawing, that's average size that a sawmill wants. Those are real good logs to make cross ties out of. You can almost take a slab off, flip it, take a slab off, and you're making ties a lot faster than when you're making lumber. But like I told you, lumber brings pretty good price, and I can't leave lumber in a slab just to be thrown into the slab pile to burn. So most of our logs takes longer than that. That was just 2 real good logs. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. It was fun to do, and it it really opened my eyes up to how fast that we could actually saw some cross ties. But that's about all we got for you today. I thank you for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.